All right, guys. So, name's Tom Hayes. This channel is all about Amazon FBA. Today, I just want to run through Facebook advertising really quickly. Okay, so I don't want people to jump into this until they've really nailed down how to do Amazon PPC and the fundamentals of Amazon. Because if you don't have your listing optimized, and you don't have kind of a lot of the other things we've talked about on this channel already done, then this isn't going to be as effective for you. But once you're at that point, and once your PPC is doing well, here is another method that I highly recommend you start implementing. Okay, so Facebook advertising is incredibly powerful. And the thing about it is you need to know how to actually kind of walk through these steps. And I'm going to talk about a few different points, but you can utilize this tool in Facebook to do numerous things for your business. All right. And let's just talk really quickly. All right. So Amazon is, as we've talked about, a search engine, right? So once you're indexing and you're ranking for those keywords, which is what your Amazon PPC is for, then okay, let's start building out your actual brand and let's start, increasing your sales and getting more exposure and getting more reviews and building out an external email list, because Amazon doesn't allow you to actually capture that information. So there's numerous ways we can kind of, within their TOS, to actually go and do that. All right, so Facebook. I mean, everyone has heard of Facebook. There's over 2 billion active Facebook users, all right? And there's 1.4 billion people that log on daily for an average of 41 minutes a day, all right? And the thing about Facebook is that, unlike Amazon, we can actually pixel them, and which means we can run ads to retarget them. We can set up squeeze pages to actually collect their email addresses. We can actually just start collecting a ton of data. And some of the data we're going to get is actually information about our demographics and who to target and a lot of things like that as well. But let's actually just talk about this really quickly of how we're going to go through this. All right, so on a very basic level, there's kind of three things when you're actually in Facebook. All right, so you're going to go to business.facebook.com, and what you're going to get is you're going to set up an actual business account, and that's free, okay? And you want to set this up for your business. Don't use a personal account to advertise. That's very important. And there's a few things that I want to hit on here, but basically when you're breaking this down at a very high level, okay, so you have a campaign, and within that campaign, you can have multiple ad sets. And what ad sets are is that's actually your detailed targeting. Who are you targeting? Who do you want these ads to be displayed to? And there's so much power behind this. And actually, if we go over to audience insights, right? So this is in your actual business account here, okay? And this is an old Shopify that I just kind of hopped on to use for this example. But you can see that, okay, so this is, the United States overall. But let's just say that, let's talk about selling, we're not going to do bamboo toothbrushes in this, actually. Let's just do kitchen utensils, okay? So if someone's interested in cooking, right, you can see how that changed, right? So 74%, women, 26% men, most of them are married, most of them have college degrees. So you can start kind of sifting through this data, and that's just one targeting aspect of that, right? But you can look at the actual pages that they like. You can actually really hone in on this stuff, okay? And I'm not going to go super in depth about how to set up your targeting. This is a very high level video of let's just kind of, go over things briefly, all right? We're not going to go down the weeds in this. I just want to show you the possibilities, because I think people don't even really, they've heard of Facebook, but they don't really utilize it. And they also don't really know how to. So hopping back over here, I mean, your ad is what's actually going to be showed to the customer themselves, right? That's where you're going to write your ad copy, and that's where you're going to display your photos or your video or whatever you have for that product. And when we're kind of breaking this down, here's the interesting part, right? So this is how I name everything. And there's one reason for this is that I'm very well organized, because I have, with different products, you want different, your campaign at a high level, you just want to be able to reference it and figure out what it is. Your ad set is really where you want to see what's, who you're targeting and if that's effective. And this is why I actually put the details about that. So I'll put the ages, I'll put kind of, male or female or both, or I'll put, the specifics of what is different about that. Because as you can see here is under this campaign, you can have 2 ad sets, you could have 4 ad sets, you could have 8 ad sets, you can keep going, all right? So this isn't necessarily how everything is laid out, but this is how I would break this down just from a very high level, all right? And there's one other thing that I do want you to realize. So Facebook Blueprint is actually Facebook's way to learn Facebook advertising, and I highly recommend you go and check that out, because Facebook is very strict about their policies, and you need to understand them to actually understand how to run ads, but also how to run ads effectively. Because if you're not compliant with their terms, there's also certain things where they will kind of knock you down and not actually optimize your ads as well. Okay, so the first thing is it's kind of like Amazon, right? So traffic is their revenue source, so they want people coming back. So people need to have a good experience. That's the first thing that Facebook actually wants. Amazon wants that as well. And then Facebook wants to make money. All right. They're going to put themselves above you. And I just want you to realize that. And Amazon's going to do the same thing. All right. And then the third is that they also want to ensure that you do well. But you're down here on that list. Okay. So just understand that's how this works. Okay. So from a very, very high level, what does this really do for you? All right. So the first thing that we want to talk about, right, is a Facebook pixel. And what a pixel is a snippet of code. And have you ever gone to even big retailers, anything like that, and you've looked at a product or looked at something, and then you X'd out of that, you went somewhere else, and let's say that you're now completely different site that's not relevant, but an ads start popping up for that. That's what a pixel basically allows you to do. It allows you to basically follow them around the web and target them with your product and your ad. And here's the power of that, is that you're able to, in psychology, people usually the first time they see something, they don't trust it. They need to see it numerous times before it starts kind of sinking in and before they really kind of spark an interest. Some people simply won't be interested, and that's just kind of the way it goes. But the people that are, they're going to see it, and they're going to see it, and they're going to eventually, click on that, and hopefully that's going to convert to whatever your actual objective is. Which brings me to my point here, is that we can do a few different things. Okay, so one is we're going to actually start with brand awareness and reach. And the reason being is that we're just trying to get exposure. And from that exposure is, we're trying to take people that are completely cold, never heard of you, to being open to the idea of you or interested, okay? And that takes some doing, all right? So there's a lot of creativity that goes into ads as well as psychology. And that's partially, we can jump into that in another video, but I just want to show you the power of actual Facebook today, okay? So the first is you can actually set up an Amazon Associates account. And what this allows you to do is you basically become an affiliate for Amazon, and you can actually be an affiliate for your own product. So, and this allows you to have a little bit more data, but it doesn't quite give you, it gives you kind of clicks and it gives you a little bit of reference point, but it doesn't give you the data you really want. So what you can do is there's a few different ways that you can actually go about this. So one is you can use what is called Pixel Me, and you can use your Facebook pixel in combination with your actual, if you type in your ASIN, it would show up for a product. So actually, if we just go over here, we're going to grab this, we're going to hop back over here, all right? And then you can search for whatever product you have, all right? And you can go to get link. And there's a very, very easy way to do this, and I am actually not utilizing this at the moment. I've found alternative ways that I think are actually way better. But this can basically, you can put a pixel that drives something directly to that Amazon product listing using your actual Amazon Associates. Now there's an alternative to this, which is coming over here, and it's amzlinks.com, and it's actually free for the first 1,000 clicks, right? Which is pretty cool. And you can create campaigns, okay? So I already made a campaign that's just demo, right? There's really nothing to it. Your tracking codes, you're gonna put in your Facebook pixel, and then my tracking links, all right? So if you add a tracking link, check this out. So you can actually do numerous things in here. And this might be a little bit too in-depth just to kind of jump into without fully explaining it, but let me just explain like one thing real quickly. So you can actually take that same ASIN that we put in there, right? So let's just put like disappointed, yeah. But you can choose your marketplace, all right? So you can actually import your keywords if you wanted to, or you can add a bunch in here, right? And what you can do is with your ASIN, you can put in your top keywords, and this will actually rotate through those and drive traffic to those different keywords, which is going to help you increase your actual ranking. And so it's pretty cool how that works, right? So you just pick this, right? And you can actually set this whole thing up. And what you'd end up doing is back-ending the link that you get here into your actual Facebook ad. And this is another way that you can help increase your actual indexing and ranking, but also understand that if you're bringing basically any traffic from Facebook to Amazon is going to favor your listing, because here's what you're doing is you're providing them free traffic. And what do we say their business is already built on, right? The thing that all their revenue is based off their traffic. And that's why Facebook, the first thing they do is make sure that their customers have a good experience. And Amazon does the exact same thing. So, just for this, right? So, so we could put in a bunch of stuff here, right? So, So, and we would go back to the master list we talked about in another video and put those all in here. But this is a way to go and do this, okay? So this is pretty cool in that capacity. And there's numerous things you can do in this platform. It's free for the first 1,000 clicks, and I think it's like $10 a month. Whereas this is, I think the cheapest was like, $30 a month. Don't mind my, real estate ventures in the background here. Let me just see. I want to say that it was, okay, yeah, but billed annually. If it's monthly, $29. So I don't want to pay $29, honestly. This actually, I think, serves a better purpose. And you could, in theory, utilize this, but I honestly would just stay away from that. I just think that it's one way that people are teaching, but there's so many other ways that you can actually get your pixel, but also have numerous benefits to yourself rather than just sales, okay? But understand, if someone clicks on an ad and then it's just going directly to your Amazon page, that ad better explain it really well. It better be a video. It better be, oh, we're giving these away at X amount of discount. Here's kind of how you get your code. But if you're going to give away a code and you're going to discount your product, then why wouldn't you get something else in return for that, okay? So let's actually hop over here. So with ClickFunnels, what you're able to do is build out pages like this. And I can change, you can change these logos, you can change anything, but essentially this person then has to go ahead and opt in. So understand, when you're doing this, these customers are much, much more likely to give you a review because you actually offer them, 20% off coupon, and you have a captivating way of actually drawing them into your listing. And the people that don't purchase, you're actually able to go back and retarget. So this helps with building your email list, getting reviews, and as well as getting pixel data of who's actually interested in your product. So the other thing about this is, if you don't have brand registry yet, you could actually take the time to fill these out, right? So you could actually fill out benefits, put other photos, maybe cross-reference products, put a video again, put some quotes, whatever. So this is actually a great way to do this. And what this would end up driving them to is this kind of a page, okay? So then you're gonna give them a coupon code, and this will actually you can set it up to go directly to your Amazon listing. And you can actually set it up in a way that, it shows them how to find your product if they actually go and look for it, which also shows up that you can. So I guess I should take that back. There's two ways to do this. So one is that you can actually go ahead and you can make that a direct link, or you could use your Amazon affiliate link, right? Or what you can do is you can actually come down here and have them type in the keywords they're looking for, and then show them which one they have to actually go to, which basically naturally helps your ranking, all right? So there's a few different methods. This is more complex for the customer. I mean, I think that in some ways you're gonna lose people when you do this, but I understand the rationale behind it. One other thing, and there's a lot of things you can do with this, okay? So understand, something like this, once you've been running Facebook ads long enough and you have an email list that you built up and you have that, you could actually take all the emails that you've already discounted and just exclude them from this. You just want new people. You don't want your old customers, getting 20% off again per se. So you can start actually doing custom audiences, and you can start doing a lot of different things. Facebook is incredibly, incredibly powerful. This video is not meant to do that. It's meant just to kind of give you a brief overview of a few things that I use it for, and this isn't even really going that in depth. This is just kind of touching on a few points. One other thing that is kind of cool, so Foxbrim is a huge brand, okay? So, but you can see, almost 8,000 people like this page, and this is what they've done, all right? So they're building up their brand on social media, and this is the same thing you can do. Understand in a way that this is actually sometimes easier on Facebook, although you're not converting directly to sales. But when you're originally running campaigns, you want to just, get attention around that and just start, being able to have people, if they're even going to click on your ad to see, if they're interested, you could just send them, like our page. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but that way you're staying on Facebook. Because remember, if you're driving traffic to Amazon, Amazon's going to favor you. But if you're driving traffic away from Facebook, Facebook probably isn't as happy about it. People do it all the time, don't get me wrong. But just understand that there's little things like that, it takes time to understand kind of how that works. And I assume a bunch of these probably came from Instagram if you're just looking at kind of how they have this synced up. But it's a good way to start building, your actual brand and start actually, looking like a bigger entity than just selling this one product on Amazon, right? Or these 3 products on Amazon. But you want to eventually start moving that to a tertiary platform, whether that's Shopify or a different website, while continuing to sell on Amazon. But you want to control your traffic, because that way, if you own your traffic, you could reach your customers. Next time you go to launch your product, you have an email list of, even if it's 500 people, you get to talk to those 500 people and say, hey, this is coming out. Right now, you don't have the ability to do that, all right? And especially with, all these launch services getting, banned and suspended with your accounts and all these other changes, there's actually a lot of opportunity right now that you can accelerate your brand so much faster, because a lot of those things are out of play. So just understand that, go and actually look at Facebook's blueprint, okay, and so you can see what their criteria is and how to actually walk through step by step for ads. All right, go and actually look at setting up your actual business account with that. And so simultaneously, you're going to start just seeing how all these pieces come together. But it takes time to do this, and you can lose money. So two things is that one is make sure that you are already doing well on Amazon, right? Your PPC is honed in. You understand Amazon PPC. You have really gotten a good grasp of that before moving to something else. Because a lot of people will jump around. They'll go from Amazon PPC and they're like, oh, I'm not seeing a ton of results, so I'll go to Google AdWords, and then I'll go to, it used to be like Snapchat, and it used to be like Pinterest, and people just jump around and not get good at anything. And this whole thing, building a brand, building an online business, you need certain skill sets. And I say this time and time again, but do something for 3 months before you hire somebody else to do it, even if you fail for most of those 3 months, but you will learn so much that more than you think when you go to hire somebody, and you can actually tell right off whether they're doing it correctly or not. All right, so understand that there's a learning curve. Understand that this isn't actually, the easiest thing. And I know this isn't super in depth. I know this isn't one of your how-to videos, but I want you to see the grand scheme of things. Because if I tried to walk you through setting up all these different things, we would be here. It'd be a 4-hour long video. All right, but consider joining our Facebook group. All right, we have a growing community, awesome people. Everyone's helping each other, and I'm doing free 15-minute calls actually every week right now. So if you join our group, there's a link to that in there. Also consider subscribing if you found some value in this. All right, guys.